Hey everybody, I'm Justin with Audio EnVision, and today we're going to install a Nest Thermostat. We're here in this apartment and it has one of these old mercury bubble types. It's just not really cutting it for us, so we're going to get the Nest installed. This is a Wi-Fi thermostat. It has a lot of features to it. One, that you don't have to program it. It actually programs itself based on your usage. You can control the temperature of your house anywhere from the world where you have an internet connection and a mobile device. And I think it just kind of looks cool, like space age. Oh, and it'll integrate with your Amazon Alexa device as well, so you can actually tell it with your voice to turn up or down the temperature of your house. But enough talking, let's get started. Okay. I got my tool set up, I got my drop cloth set up. That's to catch any dust and trash that I happen to drop on the floor. Makes cleaning up easy. So anyway, this is the Nest, and we're gonna go ahead and open it up. So the Nest thermostat comes in, I believe right now it's 3 colors. So they have the white. They also have a housing that's kind of a brushed aluminum look and a bronze look. So you get your choice of 3 different colors. So I chose white because, you know, I like the way that looks. So now inside the package, you have your documentation. You have a bunch of other just packing materials. But hold on to the documentation, you may need that. And then the most important parts is the hardware. Screwdriver I might use, I already have one that size right here. And this adapter plate right here, which all your connections go to. So hold on to that stuff. And then we have a trim plate right here. If you happen to take this off and there's a bunch of holes in the wall, instead of patching those over, you can just put the trim plate over it. And the Nest thermostat just sits right here. And that kind of cleans up a little bit of the wiring there. So if you're not into patching and painting, this just kind of covers up all that damage. So, all right, let's get to it. Pull off the cover. Now you can see inside, there's a couple wires. Your thermostat may look a little different, but mine has, it looks like, oh, you can see it just popped off there. You can see the little spark. See, here's the mercury inside, and then when the temperature shifts, there's actually it's a bimetal thermal like spring thing that rotates, and so when it rotates, that little mercury bubble right there makes a connection, and now I can hear the AC running. And then if it rotates the other way, it disengages the connection. It breaks the connection, and you can even see a little spark there. So you want to make sure you're careful. In fact, we're actually going to turn off the breaker for this unit before we start messing with it. So we'll do that right now. AC, that'll be the 3rd one down. Cool. That should shut it off. Okay, it looks like it's disengaged. I can tell because when I rotate this, it doesn't make that little spark anymore, and the air handler isn't coming on. And I'm not going to do it, but if I did take a voltage meter to this red and yellow, it would probably show up as 24 volts. I know I got the breaker off, so I'm going to go ahead and start working on it. So the first thing I have to remove are these 2 screws right here. But this house has been painted a couple times, so I actually have some paint and some seal along the sides here. So when you pull this thing off, it's going to try and rip all the paint off the wall. So the first thing I want to do is score the sides with a razor blade. Where's my razor blade? Do I have my razor blade? I don't have a razor blade. Hand me a knife. Just give me a knife. I don't care what kind it is. So I don't have a razor blade. The rest of my tools were actually stolen out of my truck this morning, but my girlfriend's gonna let me use her kitchen knife, so hopefully I don't do any damage to this thing. So we have the edges scored. Now I'm gonna go ahead and undo these screws and see if I can get this thing off. Okay, I removed it, and as you can see, we have our air handler wires coming, AC wires coming out of the wall. There's a lot of colors, and basically they just go into the little tabs right here. And on this box, they're actually already labeled. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick the tabs on to these wires, and then I'm gonna go ahead and remove them. Don't remove them until you got them labeled. Once you get them off, you won't be able to remember what what order they go back in. Another good idea, and I'm gonna do this right now, is to take a photo of it with your phone so you remember how it's wired up. So if you get lost, you can come back and refer to this. Got it. Cool. Okay, next I'm gonna go ahead and remove the wires. We're safe to do that now that we know all the order that everything goes in. We have our wires, our 4 wires. There are some extra ones. They're not being used, so don't worry about that. And our first step is to get that this cover plate on. I think I am going to go ahead and use this because we got some holes right here that I want to cover up. And after we're done here, if we ever move out, I can just take the Nest thermostat with me and replace the old thermostat. So I'm going to go ahead and install this right there. Okay, so we're going to first install this this plate right here. That looks like a nice spot for it. If you want, you can try and use the existing holes if they line up. Ours don't, so we're going to go ahead and make new holes, and we're going to install them using a really cool drywall anchor that I like to use a lot. It's these white drywall anchors. Oops, white drywall anchors right here. They screw in just like regular screws. They're plastic, and then the screw goes through that. Gives it something nice for the actual hardware to bind onto. I'm going to get my level, and I'm going to get my pencil. Line it up. Okay, you'll notice that the here, I'll try and take a video of it. You'll notice there's a built-in bubble level. If you really want to get your Nest accurate, don't use that. You can use a level like this that I have right there, and it gets it nice and accurate. You can put it on top of the faceplate and get it nice and even. So if you don't care about have it being perfectly level, you can use the built-in one. I like using my own. Okay, now that you have your faceplate and your adapter plate installed, and just remember, you don't have to cinch those down like crazy hard. I'm using an impact gun, but I was barely giving it any torque because this whole thing can kind of flex, and it'll make attaching the Nest really difficult. So get it snug, but don't wrench it down. So I'm gonna give about maybe a centimeter of length to the copper. Now I can start matching all these wires up. And as I'm connecting them, I'm kind of stuffing the wires back in the hole. You'll find out that the more clean you are with these wires, the easier it is to get that faceplate on. Okay, we're good to go. All of our wires are attached to the appropriate locations, and we're ready to put our Nest on. So this basically has a little connector on the bottom. There's a connector right there, the male side, and it just snaps right on. There we go. And we're done with the installation, at least. Now we can turn the AC back on and get this thing programmed to our Wi-Fi. Okay, it's powering on right now. I got a little blinking light at the top and a little home icon. So we're just going to give it some time to kind of boot up. Now, if you don't have anything to do right now, I recommend you go to Nest's website and start creating your account. Kind of speed things up a little bit. So we'll do that, and then once this thing's fully turned on, we can use that account to activate it. So I went in the back of my office and I set up a Nest account, and I downloaded the app on my phone. So I'm ready to add this device to my account, but first I have to do a couple setups. Make sure you have your password handy. It's just updating the software right now, so we'll let it do that. Okay, cool. It finally did all of its updates, so now we can continue through the setup. Single family, family room. Well, actually, we're in the hallway, so we'll do hallway. Equipment detected. It'll show you a little screen right here of all the connections you made. Next, it's going to ask me a little bit about my system. I know it's a heating and cooling system. Heat to, I'll set that to off. Cool to, we'll set that to no higher than 80 degrees. Done. System test. Now it's going to test the system. Now it's asking me if I want to add this to my app, and actually that's what we've been trying to do. So I'm going to open up my Nest app, and the app allows you to scan the QR code, so it's really easy to do. You just pull the Nest back off and you scan the back of it. And then when it gives you the 7-digit key, just make sure you type that in your app when it asks for it. And then it'll tell you it's connected to your account. And after that, done. Now, after you have it connected to the app, like I said, you can control this thing anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection on your phone. And just start using the Nest. It'll start creating a schedule based on your usage. Other than that, we're pretty much done. We can start relaxing again. So this is how you install the Nest. I'm Justin with Audio and Vision. Again, we're here in Mesa, Arizona. We do home theater, automation, security, networking, and as well home automation products as well. So give us a call if you're in the area and need any help with this. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.